Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Or at least lend them to your screens because we need to talk about Cory Booker. This dude just pulled a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but instead of a filibuster, it was a 25-hour sermon on the State of the Union. That's right, 25 hours. He broke Strom Thurmond's record, and no, I'm not talking about the longest nap in a rocking chair. This wasn't some random act of political theater though. Booker was fired up, and for good reason. He called out the dumpster fire that is American politics right now, and he named names. Donald Trump, back with a vengeance and threatening to ignore that pesky 2-term limit. Elon Musk, fiddling with the levers of government like it's a Tesla on autopilot. It was a full-on indictment of what Booker sees as a national crisis. This wasn't just about yelling into the void either. Booker was making a point, a big one. He was reminding everyone what's at stake, our democracy, our rights, our future. And he wasn't doing it alone. Other senators joined him, showing solidarity in the face of what felt like an existential threat. It was a long night, folks, but one that might just have changed the game. Now, let's talk about the main villains in Booker's epic rant, Trump and Musk. First up, the Donald. Apparently, losing twice wasn't enough. Trump's back, baby. And he's got his sights set on a third term. Booker wasn't having it. He tore into Trump's record, highlighting the damage he believes was done during his previous terms. Think economic turmoil, attacks on healthcare, and a general disregard for the rule of law. But wait, there's more. Enter Elon Musk, stage right. Apparently, being the richest man alive wasn't enough for our boy Elon. He's now got his fingers in the government pie thanks to you-know-who. Booker called out this cozy relationship, arguing that Musk's influence was a threat to democracy. Remember when tech bros were supposed to be the good guys? Yeah, good times. Booker didn't just rail against Trump and Musk in the abstract, he got specific, pointing to real-world consequences of their actions. He talked about families struggling to afford healthcare. He talked about the erosion of trust in government. He talked about the very foundations of American democracy being chipped away. It was a sobering reminder that these aren't just political games, they have real-life implications for everyday Americans. One of the most powerful moments of Booker's speech came when he invoked the legacy of civil rights icon John Lewis. He drew a direct contrast between Lewis's fight for equality and Thurmond's record-breaking filibuster against civil rights legislation. It was a stark reminder of what's at stake and the moral imperative to fight for justice. Booker choked up as he spoke about his promise to Lewis to carry on the fight, and you could feel the weight of history in that room. But Booker wasn't alone in that chamber. Throughout his speech, other Democratic senators joined him on the floor, offering words of encouragement and taking turns speaking. Senator Chris Murphy even stayed with him throughout the night, a true testament to their shared commitment. These weren't just empty gestures, they were a powerful display of solidarity in the face of adversity. The presence of these other senators was a reminder that Booker's message wasn't his alone. It resonated with many who share his concerns about the direction of the country. The image of these lawmakers standing together, united in their purpose, offered a glimmer of hope in what can often feel like a very dark political landscape. So, what does it all mean? Was Booker's marathon speech just a symbolic gesture? Or could it signal a turning point in American politics? It's too early to say for sure, but one thing's for certain. Booker's speech got people talking. It was a wake-up call, a reminder that democracy isn't a spectator sport. It requires active participation, a willingness to stand up and fight for what you believe in. The speech also highlighted the power of persistence, of refusing to be silenced. In an era of political grandstanding and social media distractions, Booker's marathon effort was a refreshing reminder that sometimes real change takes time, dedication, and a whole lot of stamina. Look, I'm not saying Booker's speech single-handedly saved American democracy, but it was a start. It was a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, there's always hope. As long as there are people willing to stand up, speak out, and fight for what's right, there's always a chance to turn the tide. And that, my friends, is something worth fighting for.